We'll start the meeting right now at what time?
11:08.
11:08. All right, so on the agenda, we need to go over the minutes from last minute. Everybody reviewed those, able to see them, have a copy, approve them. Okay. There's somebody that wants to go ahead and accept the minutes.
I make a motion to accept them and waive the reading.
Okay, I've got a second. Anybody want a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anybody opposed? All in favor? Okay, so moved. All right, so let's get into this. So the thing about, see how we have old money and then the grant funding from Memphis County? The money's to move out of their account. What are you laughing at, Kim?
Sarah.
Oh, did she find? Oh my gosh,
She is. Hi,
Bring the donuts. Good thing we went to Walmart.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to bring that. Shoot!
Yeah, you were supposed to bring food. Next time I'll have this catered.
I can see it in the minutes, Amy.
I'm going to put it right in there.
I think we'll need to make sure, I forgot about it, so we need to make an adjustment to the budget.
Okay.
That's right.
Oh, that's too funny.
All right.
It's so Sarah though, isn't it?
Leave it to Sarah.
Kim, I know I sent you emails last night, or yesterday with the money estimate yesterday. Will you happen to add that to your tally?
Sure. So I'll go ahead and give the treasurer's report. As of our last statement, which was August 31st, 2020, our current balance was $12,673.40. I have since received an invoice for $100 for our Wild Sky Creative for our logo. And I received an invoice in the amount of $1,560.25 for Too Good for Drugs curriculum. So the checks, the $1,560.25 is not cleared the account yet, and I have to write a check for $100. So once those are accounted for, that leaves us with $11,013.15.
And then yesterday, I sent you some supplies that I had purchased through Amazon. I sent you those receipts.
I didn't get that.
And that total was $1,464 total with all of that. And I sent you, I have copies of all of that if anybody wants to see what I spent it on, and for the Too Good for Drugs. If you want to see it. With the Too Good for Drugs, I spent for Too Good for Drugs violence in high school and the social perceptive in high school. And then I bought 4 30-page packets to go along with that for all the students. So that's where the $1,500 come from that. There's several other, like there's stuff for grade school that I would like to possibly purchase next go around. But that's what that was for. So I think we'll have enough booklets based on my rough calculation for all high school students. Especially, Andrea, are we doing all the grades or just certain grades?
So we haven't got approval through the Board of Education yet to come in and do any of them, but the goal is, I think probably 9th grade at first, and then just see how it goes and what grade is more susceptible to the curriculum and the program.
And then the office supplies, Amazon is crazy. They used to just give you an invoice, but now they give you an invoice by shipping date. So I had to print, I had to print 4 different invoices. The first one was $615. The next one was $5.11. The next one was $155.80, and then another one for $6 $87.83. And I'll tell you what I purchased. The list. I bought tape, a tape dispenser, a stapler remover, binder clips, assortment of 100, paper clips, assortment of jumbo, medium, and small, a pack of writing pads, a pack of legal writing pads, mechanical pencils, ballpoint pens, blue, I think, that blue, and then another pack of ballpoint pens that were black, hanging file folders, assorted file folders. I bought a ream of colored or copy and paper. I bought a copier machine, and the machine was on sale, but it went up. Well, actually, the one I wanted was no longer available. I think it was $4.99. Yeah, the color machine was copier. It's a duplex. It's a printer. It does everything. In fact, it does everything but staple, and it's pretty good. And I got it for $4.99. And then of course, I got extra toner and ink for it. And I bought a stand with file cabinets. So it's it's got file cabinets, and then it also has like drawers, and then a top that I can set this thing on, and then I can put all of our supplies in it. Because right now we're going to use one of Andrea's rooms in Sozo for our base. So I thought that just having one file cabinet, like to put all of our items in, would kind of help us keep them together. So that's what I purchased. If anybody has any objection, I have a couple days before they ship to cancel any of it. But you can look at it and see what I purchased. So that leaves there's a couple more major purchases, which is the Pride survey, and Kim's working on that. But we want to approve the treasurer report first.
I make a motion to approve it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Any opposed or more discussion needed?
I'm good.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. It's approved. Okay. So, as far as the trip reports go, there's not, like, our members that are over these aren't even here. Like, Kim Raleigh's not here, David Halstead's not here, Megan, Megan.
So I spoke to Megan, and she is at a place in her job where she's not really able to head up the recovery subcommittee any longer. So she asked if there was maybe someone else that would be more interested in doing so.
Okay. So that brings up a good point, because we've increasingly lost members and involvement in this. And partly it's our fault, and partly it's because of COVID and lack of ability to go. And then everybody is on Zoom now, so there's meetings all day long, every day. So I talked with Dessa yesterday, and I think what I will do is have her to start sending out those emails I used to send to each board captain, or whatever we call them, co-chairs, and see if they're still interested, and to kind of tell them where we are and see where they are with their balls. What do you guys think?
I think that's good. We need to.
And then we can see who's willing to come back and who's willing to do what, and maybe get some fire back under this thing. Because I'm afraid that we got this money, and I hate for it to just sizzle out. And it's really hard when only 3 or 4 people run the show. What does everybody think? Any discussion?
I think that sounds like a good plan. I
That
know
helps.
there's a lot of people that just really didn't know what what our next move was, and nobody wants to come to just another meeting, so there has to be some fruit of what we're doing.
Right. And I think once we start spending this money, I mean, and we have all these items, I think that'll help. And I think, and I want to, it's been really, even for me to get the 5 members together to come up with supplies or to figure out how we're going to spend this money was extremely difficult. Just getting 5 people together was ridiculously hard. So finally I just, like yesterday I called Andrea and was like, what do you want for Too Good for Drugs? And I took it upon myself to order the supplies because it's just too difficult. There are, like Sarah's working on the billboards, Kimberly Wally's working on helping me find where t-shirts and stuff supplies come from. But I think what we have left is what I will do with the money is just put it into supplies, and maybe the next time put it into the billboards. Now, Kim, how much are we thinking that the Pride survey is going to cost?
The Pride survey, when I first reached out to Dr. Tetrick, the numbers that she gave me for 7th grade were 271 students. For 9th grade, that's 276 students. So that's a total of 547 students times $2.15 per online survey. So that's a little over, that's about $1,176.05. So we have, I think we said about 3,000 or more for this project. And so once I got those numbers from her, I looked, and we can definitely do another grade if we choose to, because the money is there. And we can also add additional questions if they so choose to. Keeping in mind that every additional question that you add, it's going to take the student an additional time. Right now they estimate that the survey takes students anywhere between 8 to, I think, 15 minutes, just depends. So I sent her another email thanking her for those numbers and letting her know that we had additional funding to add another grade and any additional questions, if they had any that they would like to, develop and send to us, we could add that. Additional questions, you can add up to 15, and it's $500 no matter how many questions you add, but you get up to, the maximum is 15. And I have not heard back. So I would really like to add an additional grade. They recommend 11th if we're already doing 7th and 9th. But like I said, I have not heard back. So I will keep trying. But if I don't hear anything, I mean, I don't know what you all want to do. Do we just want to move forward with 7th and 9th grade? I know this funding expires at the end of the month. The survey can be done after the end of the month.
But we have to spend.
But I know the purchase needs to be made by the end of the month.
As a student, I think it might be interesting to, if there's other questions that we feel like that might be beneficial.
So we could either rush through this and go ahead and just go and do it, or we can hold this, and then we're gonna get 15,000 in the beginning of October. So do we want to hold off and do it correctly and wait for Dr. Tetrick to come back with the additional, and then we have more money and use this money for something else? Or do you think we need to go ahead and hastily purchase something?
I personally would like to, see maybe, today is the, 17th? Mm-hmm. Is maybe use the $12 24th is maybe a deadline as far as adding an additional grade and any additional questions. If not, then, you know, that's a decision we can make today, or, you know, we just want to wait to hear back if we don't hear anything by the 24th from the board office. I mean, I don't know, what are you all feeling about it?
Thoughts in the room?
I would like to go ahead and do it. I think that this is going to be some really needed data and a resource for us if we move forward with the DFC grant. So personally, I would like to see us go ahead and get it done now. I think it would be beneficial to do the 11th grade students as well. I don't see why that would be.
I'm all for that. Kim, why don't we just go ahead and add the third grade to it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've reached out to her several times to get those numbers for how many students are in 11th grade.
She won't.
And I haven't heard anything. So,
Well,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Either we move forward with just 7th and 9th if we don't hear back, to purchase the survey before the end of the month, or we just, you know, hold off until we get a response and add 11th grade, but that might not be until the end of the month.
I agree.
So you understand where I'm coming from?
I do understand, and I do understand. So why don't we just go ahead with the plan that we have? She's already given us permission for what we got. Did she want to add some additional questions?
That's the thing in the email that I sent her. I said we had funding for an additional grade. It's recommended that we do 11th grade, and that we had additional funding for any questions that they might want to add to the survey. And so I haven't heard back. All I have are the numbers for 7th and 9th grade.
Have you tried to call her? Yeah, and still no response?
Several times. And she did reply to the one email and said, you know, they're very busy. You know, it was the first week of school, and I totally get that. So it's just been, you know, just trying to work with their very busy schedule during this unconventional school year, and trying to get, you know, responses.
So if we
Do we have to have her in order to order them? Can we not order them online?
We need them.
Sorry.
Yeah, you pay by.
What about just estimating high? Like I mean, and we can always return the surveys, correct? Isn't that what they said? Or use them? What if we, there's 271 students in 7th grade, 276 students in 9th grade. What if we would just go ahead and get like 280 surveys for 11th grade? That way the numbers are equal in each group. So you're having roughly the same amount of participants in each group. I mean, would that work? Or would every single student need it? I mean, it would be kind of randomized.
I don't think that we would want to go without having the board, the woman on the board.
Do what?
Go ahead.
I can't hear you.
I said I don't know that we should do it without her saying, yeah, that's fine, go ahead.
What who's saying?
What's her name?
Teacher.
What about the additional questions? Do we have to know what the questions are that we're gonna ask right now to purchase it, or do we have a little bit of time to come up with
We have a little bit of
questions?
time.
So what if we added the questions to it and then just made some additional questions after we have an opportunity to get with her and discuss what would be questions that the school would like to see as well. That would use up some of the money and still be able to get the survey done now.
Yeah, I think that we could definitely pay for the $500 for additional questions. If we weren't able to get the board to come up with those, what additional questions they would be interested in right off. I'm sure as a coalition, we have a need for some specific information that we could, as a coalition, formulate some additional questions.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I think we should do.
Okay, so we're definitely agreeing, we probably need to take this to a vote. I'm not sure how
Yeah, we do.
the process works, but we definitely agree that we want to purchase additional questions. What those questions are right now, we will have to formulate. There will probably be a side meeting for that. I have to verify with them how much time we have to get those questions to them. And then as far as the additional grade, 11th grade, do we want to give it another week for the 24th to see if we can get those numbers? And if not, just move forward with 7th and 9th grade, which numbers we have.
I'm so sorry. I think I'm misunderstanding. Do you have to get the board's approval also to give 11th grade the survey, or 12th grade the surveys?
Which board?
The Department
Board
of Education, or whoever, the
Yeah,
school
so
board.
we'll have to get permission from the Board of Education as to what grades we can give that to.
Okay.
Because it is, I mean, it goes with all those papers that we fill out at the beginning of the school year with privacy and all that stuff. So they have to, the school board will have to give us permission to implement that in the school and to have that
And
information.
they've given permission for 7th and 9th grade for us to do those surveys?
I believe when Robert reached out to her, he made the initial contact. I just followed up. And she is willing to work with us and wants to implement the Pride survey this school year. So I think, as opposed to what grades it is, that's kind of semantics. That's, I think we have overall approval to do the Pride survey, and I was reaching out to her to work out the details. So as far as the grades and the numbers, but I think overall it has been approved. So now it's just working out those details.
I still think that if we don't hear back from her to know the details, I still think that we should go ahead and purchase 280 for 12th grade. I mean, because just when you're doing trials and studies and whatnot, your samples, your participants, it would work out nicely because 7th grade is 271, 9th grade is 276. So you would have a pretty even comparison, to look at 7th grade's population, the majority of kids that are being introduced to drugs or whatever, versus a 12th grade population. Your statistics are going to be similar, is what I'm saying. So if we don't hear back from her, I think it's extremely important to get that whole picture. So I think, that's just my opinion. I think regardless, I think we need to purchase it for 12th grade.
It would be 11th grade. That's their recommendation.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 11th grade. Any comments? What do you think, Kim? Because the Pride seems like it's like your baby.
I think that, I think if we don't hear, something by the 24th, that, make an estimation of what 11th grade is, and, making that purchase on the 25th, along with the additional questions. Yes, I think that's reasonable. There's always a chance that we may not get those 11th grade numbers, and we've made the purchase for 11th grade. So, there's that.
Anyone else?
So, are we voting on that now?
Yeah, I think we need to make a decision.
Okay.
We just need to make
I
a
vote
decision
yes.
that we,
So I make a motion that we just hold off and hopefully hear from her within the next week. And if we don't hear from her, to go ahead and purchase the surveys that we need and the additional questions and continue to move forward.
with what we got.
With
which
what
was
we
the 2
have.
grades, the additional questions, and move forward. Because even next cycle when we get the money, if we want to add more or change or do whatever, we can.
Your results aren't going to be for the whole junior high school. You're missing a portion. You're not going to see the whole picture.
What I was saying was go ahead and purchase the 3 grade surveys. And then.
Agree. Okay, I'm sorry. So we're agreeing. My bad. Dude, I'm so sorry. I have a hard time paying attention with the Zoom thing. I have a hard time paying attention when I'm there in person, so this is really difficult. You guys bear with me.
I'm sure.
And honestly, if we went ahead and, estimated the numbers for 11th grade, for them to push it out isn't any real additional, work on their behalf. It's just a matter of sending students a link. So I don't think that, that would be an issue. I think, it's just trying to pin down what those numbers are. But like I said, for them to send the survey out to 11th grade is not going to be, any hindrance on their behalf. It's just send a link, the same type of message or email that you would send to the 7th and 9th graders.
And didn't we say that we were going to give like a certain amount of money as an incentive?
Yes.
Yes, we talked about that at our, I can't remember what the name of our committee is, resource subcommittee that we had. And I think we talked about $200, a $200 incentive. Is that correct, Andrea? Do you remember, Heather?
I thought it was $250.
I was thinking 2,000, so, I'm really off, because I was thinking.
I have my notes, but not with me.
So honestly, I think what we decided was 500 and we half it per school. So that would be 250 per school.
Yes, that's what I have here, right? So it would be a total of like
$1,000.
No.
$1,000, yeah. Mm-hmm.
4 schools, 4 junior or middle schools and high schools total.
Yes.
2 in Nicholas County, 2 in Redwood,
Yes.
4,
Yes.
250 each. 1,000.
So it was 1,000. Okay. Yeah, I knew there was some kind of 1,000 in there. I just got my numbers mixed up. So yes, it would be an additional $1,000. So we're looking at, I think we said 3,000 and we're coming up on 3,000 with those numbers, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the math real quick here.
Do you have notes? In case.
Yeah. It's a little over $3,200. If we include 11th grade with an estimate of 280 students, that's $602, plus $500 for the additional questions and $1,000 for the incentive.
Last meeting, it was 3,500 that we
Yeah,
agreed upon.
3,500.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're still in budget, Kim.
Yep.
So let's hope for her response, but if not, we'll just go with that. And I
With the
can't,
7th and 9th grade and additional questions.
yeah, so do you want to go ahead and say that again, so we can approve it?
The same thing that I said the first time?
Yes.
I make a motion.
Exactly.
I make a motion to move forward with the Pride survey with 7th, 9th, and 11th grade, and the additional questions. Anybody second it?
I second
Anybody, any more discussion? Yay, any opposed? All right, so moved. Carried. All
I'm
right.
just excited that we don't have to have this discussion much more.
I know. Me too. Okay, so that's all
it. It's
taken
been
care
going
of.
on a while.
So roughly, Kim, we are going to have about about $3,000 more, right? To spend.
It's good though, Pat. It's worth it.
Mhm. It's a really good idea to get the kids,
Now I'm showing like 6.
you know.
Well, I had 7, but
It changes.
Okay, yeah, like 6,500. Mhm.
Ages
And we still have yet
We
to,
were in school,
Oh, yeah.
to, you know.
talk about
Stuff
the logo
Not the same.
and, any rack card and things like that. I don't know if Liz is on here, but she wanted us to get a draft to her
so what
and she could get some rack cards printed.
I do have a question about that, because I sent her our logo, and I don't know what else she needs, because it has to be approved by the state, and I told her just to go ahead and do what everybody else is doing and put our logo on it. I mean, I don't know what other additional information we can add, without us trying to come together, and again, that's like, it's very, very difficult. So are you all good with that, what I told her? Yeah?
I mean, I'm not real sure what everyone else is doing, but
I mean, I think the RAC card just talks about, it's like what we,
the information that was collected
yes.
in that survey, the substance use disorder survey that we did. Yeah, I mean, if she can,
all that information that she compiled together would be based on Nicholas County. Now, the only thing,
Heather,
yes,
this is Liz. So that I understand, are you wanting to take the rack cards you all have already had and been using in the past and just add your new logo to it?
have we ever had RAC cards?
we did. Kim did some.
Yeah, Kim.
In the very beginning, we did a rack card and let's see, I think I've got it here.
Right here, we got one here to look at.
Do you have one? So it says Nicholas Intervention Coalition, and the top part is our mission statement, why this coalition is important, and then it gave a definition of the coalition along with the meeting dates, and then on the back were our the resources that we had at the time. So we focused on recovery. So these were all of the recovery meetings in Nicholas County, and then rehabilitation services, and then the West Virginia hotline, Help for West Virginia. And that was what was on the back.
Okay, so,
Okay, so do y'all have a local printer?
We do, Nicholas.
Okay,
They do a good job. I've been pleased with them and support small business.
Okay, so if you all can send to them and have them, if you want to change the information on that one and add your medication for opioid use resources on there, put your new logo and any other updated information from that to your printer and have them set it up and give you a price, and you can get me the invoice ASAP, then we can pay for that. But you're gonna have to do it quickly.
How quickly? Give us a
Within
bit.
the next week.
So like next Friday?
Used,
The reason I have.
who was it that you used, Andrea? Wild Sky Creative to create this, if we give them, our old RAD card PDF file?
Yeah, I think I might have already sent you, there's some, DHHR, DHHS stuff that has to be on there. Did I already send you that? Okay, tell me who you want me to send it to, and I'll send that to you too, because that has to be on the RAD card.
Send it to me,
Okay, who's that, who's me?
Andrea.
Andrea, okay.
Because we need to add the opiate resources on there too.
Kim, did you send me the original file of that RAC card?
I think so.
That's what I was looking
I can go back and look. If I didn't, I can definitely get it to you.
for. Okay, if you,
But the problem with when I did it, I can't remember what software that I used.
so it's in PDF format?
Right, and that's the thing. I mean, if we get it professionally done, they'll use a format that can be easily edited and, updated.
Well,
I just used a free software program I found on the internet.
if you send it to me, I can at least copy the information that you put on there and modify it for what is current. A lot of the recovery meetings have changed and aren't operating right now because of COVID and all of that stuff. So if you can send it to me, I'll try to get something put together, and I'll get in touch with Skylar, the lady who done our logo, and see if she can just put some finishing touches on it, and then we'll get it sent to the printer.
Okay, I think that's a great idea. And on this RAD card, like Sozo Recovery had a Facebook page, so I put a little Facebook emblem on there. And it may be just to kind of not have to continually update the card so much. If Sozo and Seneca Health, if they update their Facebook page with meetings and things like that, it might just be an idea of just say, check out their Facebook page for updated meeting information or services or something.
So my thought with that was to put like Seneca, Sozo, Camden, all these locations that address addiction, Lifeline, put those locations on the RAC card and distribute meeting lists to those locations, because they do change so often. We can just put them on regular paper and they can pick up a meeting list there.
That's a good idea. Because they do change frequently.
We can add more meetings if people tell you they can only come.
So, Liz, we really need a date, because if we don't have a date, people tend to not meet dates.
Hey, she stepped away, but let me ask her real quick. Oh, they said they need a specific date. At least by Friday of next week.
Thank you. All right, so write that down. Friday of next week. We have to have it to her.
Do you want her to send it to the Sozo email address?
Yes, please.
25th, Andrew.
Thank you.
All right. So as far as the billboards and stuff, we're still trying to figure that out. I was thinking that we could hold the billboards until we get the next cycle. And then the rest of the money, we're doing pricing for t-shirts and giveaway, we're not allowed to use that word. Educational materials, as far as, just different things. We've been looking at several different places to get different items. And I got a guy It's in Charleston, it's called Imaging, his name's Chip Erling, and he always makes, anybody, you know, any deals I get, he can beat. So I'm gonna go with him, and what I can do is tell him what we want, and he can send me an invoice, and then he can print the material and get me the material whenever that we need it.
So this is a suggestion that I was thinking of, and if we have money left over that just absolutely has to be spent, the Nicholas County Day Reporting Center has been renovated to a degree. The inside has. The outside has not been painted, and it desperately needs painted. It's something that I think would make Summersville look better, and also it's supporting a program that supports recovery and change, you know. So I don't know if we just get down to that point. I'm going to suggest that we spend the rest of it on paint supplies to paint that building.
We said yes, right? Like that's something we can do. That was a part of it. Savannah, do you know that answer? I think he said that, they said last meeting we could do that.
I do not.
Okay.
Well, I know we're getting down to the very wire of everything, and there was some discussion that it was an improved thing, and there's a section of the building that we can do the mural, the like Be Kind mural or whatever that supports the permission things or whatever it's called.
On the side of the DRC building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just throwing that out there.
So how about we spend we're saying that we probably roughly have about 6,000 left. Kim?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I would put
Roughly.
4,000 towards printed materials, and then whatever's left, we could buy paint. That way we can just kind of empty it out.
I mean, I'm good with that.
I can't say
Obviously,
that.
I recommended it.
Somebody needs to go with that.
We painted.
No, so the DRC has people there that are in that program that can paint it. So,
Okay.
Andrew, can you make a motion?
I make a motion to use the leftover money for painting the Daily Reporting Center in Summersville.
So the rest, 4,000 though, on educational materials, and then hold the billboard over to the next cycle of money. Because we still need to get pricing on that.
Well, we need to get pricing, we have to come up with design, there's
Yes,
just a lot that
lot to
has
do.
to be done in order. And then the rack card is something that's easy for us to manipulate because we already had something to work off of. The billboard, this is a first time thing. We don't have anything to work off of unless we just want to put our logo up on a billboard. You know, and that doesn't really show anybody who we are or what we're trying to do.
I agree, that's what I'm saying. So if we get our logo printed on some materials,
Start
do the
getting it
rack
out
card,
to the community.
and then 4,000, we can allot 4,000 to that, and then whatever's left over, to paint, and you say that.
Okay, I make a motion for the last $6,000 to be utilized for 4,000 of it on printed material and 2,000 of it on paint supplies for the Nicholas County Daily Reporting Center.
Who's going to second that, or any discussions?
I'll second it.
I don't think anybody's on there but Kim.
Well, Amy Hampton just responded.
Everybody has got their phone on there and they're on mute out doing something else.
Sarah just really lost.
Sarah's getting her hair run.
Yeah, Sarah's probably getting her hair.
I'm just kidding.
Or she's sitting under the hair dryer.
The blow dry thing, yeah.
All right, so we're good with that, no discussion, everybody approved.
Yeah,
So moved, and we'll carry that. All right, so that gets rid of all the money. We still need to work on the testimonials, and I need to finish that part. I need to get a hold of him. And let's give myself a deadline. I will have that done by the 25th. Because if I don't have a deadline,
September 25th.
yeah.
I'm holding you to it.
And I'll hold Andrea to it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do I need to jump in there to read the next one?
Maybe.
Kim, have you received any information from the IRS and the post office about our 501c3?
I can't hear you. I think it's, Anita, will you mute? Oh, sorry. Okay, what was that?
I said, have you received any information in the mailbox about the 501c3?
I have not. Heather was at the mailbox last.
Was there
Did you see anything, Heather?
I didn't go to the mailbox. You went to the
Oh.
mailbox.
No.
Oh, we got that check.
Yeah, you
I
can
haven't
just
been to the mailbox. I can go look. I can go look today and see.
But-
Oh,
looks at
sorry.
everybody
I
else to
thought you had. That's how you received that check.
No,
from
it comes
Community
to,
Connections.
It came to the city.
it came to the city.
Oh,
And I deposited that check yesterday, by the way.
all right, so my bad. No, I haven't been.
All right, so I can't give you an update on that.
So somebody wanted to talk about grandparents today. And I don't remember who it was.
Lauren was going to, but she had something come up, so she asked if I could give the update. And
That was a week ago, wasn't it? Grandparents' Day.
It was last week, yeah, I didn't make it. I couldn't
Do you know
make
that
it.
started in Richmond?
Good, it did?
Yeah.
Wow,
Friend of one of the sons.
that's
I
awesome.
got a book, I'll put in the book I have that she wrote. You can read it. It's
That would be
very
great.
interesting.
That is.
Yeah.
okay, so the update is Natasha hasn't gotten any referrals at all yet. I know that she did say that she had given the information to the schools and the school counselors, the school social workers, and that they've shared the referral form and the brochures, but she hasn't received any referrals as of yet. Christine and Lauren are working on the content, the curriculum content. They are still hoping to start the Zoom call-in for 4 weeks, half-hour sessions, starting in mid-October. But again, that depends if we have enough referrals at that time to meet that program start date goal. And there was also talk, there was some funding available. Mayor Schaefer wants to support this program as well. So there was some talk of setting up a call system similar to, what the schools have when they call and schools cancel or they want to send out important messages to parents. That we would have, the Grand Families program would have that similar type of call system. And we would use that in the months where there weren't any meetings, just to continue to provide information to grand families, particularly those that may not have internet access, and just to keep them thinking about the Grand Families program while there is that break between those 4 sessions and then starting up again. And that's all I have.
Kim, can you give me a copy of all that information so I can give to my parents and my therapists that are treating parents and grandparents?
Absolutely, I can, I'll send you the referral referral form. Natasha and Robin, Robin Brown at the FRM has one as well, the new referral form. It's been updated to add email address and also a question asking what their internet, that they have at their home. So yes, I'll email it to you.
Thank you. And I'll give it to my therapist so we see lots of kids and parents, grandparents, so. Did we get the roll call from, okay. Hey guys, we need a roll call from everybody that's on the screen. So we got Kim Major, I know Ivan is Sarah, Desta Scruggs is Camden, A. Hamilton,
Anita.
and then Hampton. And then who's 44758? Please identify yourself. You're unmuted. Hello?
Hey Heather, this is Meg from Human. I don't know if that's my number or not. I have no idea.
Okay, it's Meg from Camden. All right, hi Meg.
Unidentified one here.
You're identified as 44758.
How do they assign those numbers?
I don't know. I was thinking those numbers looked familiar, but I wasn't for sure.
Thank you.
All right, so we got her done. Okay, so sorry, moving on. There was the grandparents thing. Oh, she asked me. Cheryl was she was on for a hot minute and then she left. But she wanted me to say, the SNAR, you know how she was talking about the SNAR reporting,
Sinar.
SYNAR.
The compliance.
The compliance for the nicotine products, and they did this,
Right.
under by whatever. Anyways, she conducted that in Nicholas County. They also checked for vapes and Nicholas County youth during the inspection. And we did not get, nobody in the county sold to youth. So every facility,
I believe it.
every place they went, nobody.
I do believe it.
So we got a perfect. Yay, Nicholas County.
Yeah, I have a hard time buying.
I can smoke, so I guess I don't really know what it is.
So,
I shouldn't, but there you go. I do.
all right. So is there anything else that we need to review before we call it a day?
I think the one thing that we really need to make sure that we do is get these subcommittees up and moving again. And if these individuals who are the chairs of those subcommittees aren't able to continue in doing it, then we need to get people who are committed and a part of the coalition and reach back out to people in the community and get those community members involved in what we're doing. I think that is going to be critical in this coalition being able to stay alive and continue in its efforts.
Agreed. Dustin and I will work on drafting those emails and sending them out to the chairs to see if they're still interested in being a chair and if their presence is requested at our next meeting.
So I know Megan's not able to. I will do it until there is another person that is interested in taking that place. I seen Kelly Hughes on there a moment ago. She's the new director or whatever they're called, I don't know, at the Cope Center. So I don't know what her schedule looks like, if that's something that she would be able to be a part of and chair and kind of head up. I would like to not be the chair on that.
I would like that too, because you've got lots of.
Yeah.
Lots
But
of-
I'll do it until someone else becomes available.
So I'll be able to report the emails after we send those out this week. Well, we'll send them out starting this week and see what we get back. is hopefully we'll either increase our numbers again, or we'll have to start promoting again. Yeah.
Did you approve the bylaws with the corrections?
Oh, yes. So we need to approve the bylaws with corrections. Who wants to make that a motion?
I make a motion to approve the bylaws with the correction of the location being changed from Fort Bend community to Nicholas County community.
And that we will sign it.
And that we will sign it on the next meeting schedule.
So Ken, you have to be present.
Somebody second it?
Give me a second.
You want to second it? Somebody want to second it?
I'll second.
Awesome. All right, any more discussion? So moved, approved. All right, anybody have anything else? I say we adjourn. Anybody want a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I make a motion.
Keep right up for that one.
Okay, who's second? I think Pat seconded. All right, guys,
Can I second it too?
we'll see y'all later. Bye.